Them. So good morning. Hey Cordell, how's it going?
Morning.
So we had another question on budget, and the long and the short of it is, I mean, your video
Throw
list.
it out the window. Just get rid of it anymore.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lock stuff in. Yeah, no, seriously. The budget.
Order a lot of checks and just keep writing them right now.
Oh, it is
That's my life. So
it's beyond insane what stuff costs right now. I saw sheeting the other day, and it was for like it was nothing. It was a piece of 4x8, like T111, right? And it's T111 is, for those who don't know, it's an exterior plywood panel for like a shed. It's like $75. It's like, what? What? No.
I built a new pump house up at my place,
Hmm.
and it was like 4x5 shed roof, and I got some like ISO board to insulate it, and a couple of hinges to make a little door and some.
Hmm.
I was using the LP smart panel siding. I load the truck up and I go. I give my. I charge all the account. I wasn't really paying attention. I get the invoice. It was $2,000 for like just a little package of stuff.
It's
So
crazy. It's crazy. Well, you sent me a text the other day that you were buying number 4 rebar, which is 1/2 inch rebar. A stick is what did it used to be? I'm trying to remember what normal would be.
$3, like
$3. And what is it now? 12.50?
12.50.
That's a lot.
3-inch conduit,
Yeah.
$9 a foot.
A foot? I'm so glad I'm not doing big projects right now. I mean, of course it's easy to explain. It's like not my fault, right? But
Yeah, it doesn't make you look any better though.
no, it makes you look incompetent actually. So anyway, let's jump into budget. So the question was, how do you lock in a budget? And I agree with you that it's nearly impossible now. But number one, you do the budget lesson in the course, and I love your budget tool. I love how it project tracks. What is a good advice for trying to keep somebody on budget now?
Well,
Trying.
um, so we went over before, you like, fixed cost, your like lump sum, bid pricing, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
In a previous
AMA.
AMA session. So I'm going to circle back to that and review those type of items. So know what kind of proposal you have.
Mm-hmm.
Going to help you. Like you're going to know how you're paying for this. Were you given a lump sum pricing?
Mm-hmm.
There might be a small price increase, or materials are going up, fuel's going up, like we were saying before, everything's going up. So if you get some sort of increase, some ways of pricing, you're more likely to see that or not. But the sooner, in my game, the sooner you can order things. So when your stuff's locked in,
Yep.
your project's a go. Working with the customer right now, and it's, hey, everything looks like it's a go, and then I have my caveat. Well, everything in this contract is today's pricing.
Yeah.
As of X day.
I'm not distracted. I bought some stuff at Sherwin-Williams, and I'm looking at my tally, and
you got a 4% supply chain.
4% supply chain thing, which is nothing more than fancy way of saying, screw you, here's a fuel surcharge.
Yeah. And so it was, my caveat's like, this is pricing as of today. You realize, you have to realize that we're going to have to revisit this depending on when you started. But so we're waiting for the bank to come in. Bank's supposed to come in and close within, like they said, 15 to 25 days, I think, because we've been in the pipeline for a while. So at that point, we will order a ton of stuff. It makes it hard for a full construction build right now, because a lot of times the customer wants to walk the framing and realize their cabinet layout, and this is how the kitchen's going to be, make some changes. We turn around, order cabinets, and by the time we're drywalled out, cabinets are here. Cabinets are 18 weeks right now. So
what?
Yeah, we're up to 20 weeks on windows. So
I don't mean to sound surprised. It's just, I'm largely getting away from the type of construction you're doing. It's just like, that's just baffling to me. There's no way to forecast anything.
No. And so the biggest thing we do is, you pay an architect for your layout, you better like the layout. Like, we can make changes, but we need to do them very early. And so like if we order cabinets today, we have today's pricing. They don't come in for 16 to 18 weeks, but we have today's pricing. We order our lumber package today, we have today's pricing. Trusses are another ballgame, but we'll throw that out the window. So the biggest thing I think for securing budget right now is when your project's a go, you need to be getting materials or getting stuff in the supply chain as soon as possible, because
procure stuff now.
yes, buy your granite slab now or your deposit and lock in that pricing. I have some spray foam stuff and I'm offering a thing now where it's like, hey, because of the bulk I have to buy in to get freight down, I would never spend this much money at one time. Like, it makes me very uncomfortable to spend that much money to warehouse that much stuff just so that I'm not paying $7.50 a pallet for freight. So I offered some people that I have a lot of work coming up, and I said, hey, I priced this at X much. If to continue, it's going to be this much. I'll honor the other pricing, but I'm taking deposits. They are non-refundable, and you will get that time on your schedule. And at that point, it seems like a weird way to do business, and I don't like it, but I have to buy your materials now. And with the way the building market is, and their deposit doesn't cover all of that, but I'll secure your spot, but I'm not going to spend tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to secure every person's spot without some of their skin in the game.
So just out of curiosity, this is a question from me actually, because this is a little off base for, we're talking kitchen and bathroom renovations largely is what, how we keep those people on, how we keep those customers on, the course takers on budget is, simply it's secure your product early on to avoid price escalation and to try to make sure that you're maintaining that schedule, et cetera, et cetera.
And I would say that's specifically for this climate we're in now.
Yes. My question to you then, because now we're talking custom homes or big, larger scale products with huge lead times and you're talking people with bank loans. Okay. I've built tons of custom homes and I'm familiar with how that game works. So you do monthly draws based on what's completed. You're talking about securing entire lumber packages, window packages, cabinet packages, prepaying deposits for trust to secure those prices. How do you get a reimbursement from the bank? Because you're fronting everything on your credit, everything. And how are you doing that without them visually? Because I didn't have success where if the product was on the ground, that wasn't good enough. It needed to be applied. So how do you deal with that?
So luckily, a couple of some of the things we're doing now is the bank's not fronting all the money. Our customers have quite a bit of money to put down, and we use a lot of that to supply. Last lumber package I bought actually about 4 months ago, and it's been sitting on the ground for 4 months at a job site or maybe even longer, was over $100,000. It's now over like 135, and we just brought that to the customers. Hey, quoted prices today. It's up to you. Do you want to spend that money that you're going to spend to put in your project on lumber, or spend on something else? Spend 35 more or whatever that could be. It could go up,
could go down. Yeah.
We have guaranteed today. Dealing with the bank though is tough, but the biggest thing is the way I structure the contract, and then it does go to bank review as to how we bill that out. So, but my suppliers are pretty good with, like, if I order cabinets today, I don't pay until they're delivered. So,
that's good.
Lumber, same way.
So price is locked in regardless.
Yes.
That's good. Okay.
So order windows, 18 weeks, 20 weeks. I pay at delivery.
That helps a lot.
Oh yeah. Otherwise we'd be asking them for half the draws the first month.
Yep. Wow. Well, that's crazy. So long and the short for home renovation, order your product early. Yeah,
order your stuff early. Definitely talk with your contractors and your labor, whatever you're using.
Make sure that you're signing the quote is good for, get the quote signed and returned, even though the schedule is out a bit.
Yes, return, a lot of say this is good for 30 days, sign and return. Make sure you do that. And a lot of people don't. I know a lot of guys are like, okay, email it, great. Sign it, scan it, send it back. Takes you 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Then the other thing about budget is, one is planning how much you're going to spend from the beginning too, right? And eliminating those surprises. Now, if you ask your contractors as you get in, like, you can't expect them to eat some things where you picked a fancy ass bathtub or whatever, and it's now double the price, which is like a realistic thing in a couple months in the industry right now. Is I've been approaching it a lot as, hey, what's this looking like? Where are these things going?
Mm-hmm.
And or similar, like my electricians, like, wire's going to take another jump. They're like, oh, expect 30% more in the next 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
On your invoice total, because that's all the best we can do right now. That now I have an idea of what's coming. It's not a final invoice with a higher amount, which I can't blame them for. I mean, they got to make money, and I have to pay for the product I'm using. It's the going forward of, hey, I know, hey, we're still, running on schedule. You're scheduled 6 weeks from now. Are you still, there, blah, blah. But then it's, how are we looking? I understand diesel's twice what it was, freight's through the roof, like whatever materials are we still good on that pricing, or is there some of those materials not available? Maybe we have to go to a more expensive one because you can't buy that whatever we were using. And I just like the forecasting a little further in advance than being like, okay, I understand it was more expensive, but I kind of needed to know that. And in my business, I need to know that because I got to go to someone else that actually pays that bill and say, what we quoted can no longer be done, or here's an increase because of X.
Yeah.
Your freight for your bathtub is now more expensive than the bathtub itself. So,
oh my God. Yeah. That happened to me on a sink, where my fault completely. I forgot to order a sink, and my granite template was like in 3 days or something stupid. And so I called everywhere. And I mean, within a 300-mile radius, and it's like, okay, where can I get this sink? It's like, oh, there happened to be one in Denver. I'm like, okay, get it to me. And the plane ticket for the sink was something like $650 for a $300 sink.
Oh man.
And so I did my patented, God love him, Jeff Bezos. I Amazoned it. They had it, and I had it next day air free because of Prime.
Okay, that's not
of course paid for the sink, but So anyway, that was a fun one. I mean, it was totally my fault. I would have completely blown up my schedule because I forgot to do something. So anyway, yeah. Well, I like the budget tips. Really, it's at the end of the day,
it's hard right now.
Yeah, it's hard, but at the end of the day, secure everything you can immediately to lock in those prices. At least it's a known fixture, if you will.
Yeah, and I would approach it too as asking what you can do to lock in prices, because if you're using granite company, granite quartz, solid surface people, it's like, hey, can we? And this might affect each person individually depending on what you're using for budget and how those finances are available. But hey, can we pay for our slab up front to guarantee cost? Or like, if that one's gone and we got to bring a new one in from Italy, what's that look like?
No, I like your question of what can we do to, I mean, that's a very respectful question. What can we do to secure pricing for our project?
And a couple of years ago, we would never even, it'd be like, go pick your slab, and then they're going to cut it, and then they'll send you a bill, and it's what they told you 6 months ago.
Nope.
Yeah. And so, yeah, same thing, cabinets, hey, they may require a deposit, can I deposit these and get them ordered into set secure pricing for now, and tile work and all those things.
But the other thing that you said that was critical there is, when you get a proposal, sign it, date it, send it back, to lock in that pricing. Fixtures may change, but if you're buying those material objects ahead, then really the prices should be honored.
Yeah.
So yeah, good points. Well, thank you for that, Cordell. Thanks for the time. I'm going to close this one out.
See you later.